morning, everybody. Silas back again today. I'm here in paradise. I have got a crazy, and I know I say this all the time, but I took it up a few notches. I didn't just go up one notch, I went up about 5 notches. But I have a crazy week ahead of me. I have to do so much work, and I'm going to be gone next week, and everything has to be done before I'm gone. I've got to work out here full time. I don't have any vacation days left to use. In addition to that, I've got a bunch of stuff of my own that I have to do. So I'm going to have to work out here all day and work at my place all night, pretty much every day this week. Plus I have to edit after that. So there is a good possibility that I will not be able to sleep at least 1 or 2 days this week. I've got some really cool stuff going on though, and I want to share it with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record this entire week. I may not record a lot each day, but if I put it all together, it'll be interesting. You guys can kind of see what I'll be doing. Today's agenda is I've got to crush cars, and then tonight I'm going to go out to my place and I'm working on cutting noses off. I've got an order for 13 noses off of old trucks, so I've got to get those cut off. So I'm going to kind of alternate back and forth between working here at the yard, crushing cars, doing stuff here, working out there, and cutting noses, cutting cabs, that sort of stuff, kind of just going back and forth. So I guess buckle up and let's go for a ride. We'll take a break from cutting that and check this out real quick. A while back we sold a long bed S10 frame to a guy, and he was put underneath a 53 or 4 Chevy truck, something like that, 52 I think. I don't remember the exact year, but anyway, this is the original frame. He's got that frame swapped in there and everything, so he called us and said, come pick up my old frame. And this is the setup he had once before, and this was a running driving setup. He just didn't really like it. He didn't like this engine. This was a rebuilt engine when he put it in there, and transmission. And then for a rear end, it's got an early 60s, like a 63 or 64. I can't remember now. I looked up the date code earlier. But it's like an Oldsmobile or Pontiac or something like that. It's a 9.3 inch. So that ought to be a pretty good rear end. I'm sure I can sell that. I don't have much time left. I probably won't get this thing all the way off, but I'm going to cut on it a little bit more. Hopefully I can get most of the cutting done at least, and then I just have to unbolt it from the bottom later. I got this side completely cut all the way down this side, and then I took the Sawzall and cut it down on the inside with the Sawzall. I got that side cut with the whiz wheel. Now I just got to get the Sawzall and cut all the way down here. And there we go. I hate cutting the hood with the Sawzall because it's really hard to cut in a straight line. You can see where I arched way up in the hood, which I'd rather go that direction than the other way, because at least that way I can trim it back off later a little bit better. But the whiz wheel is much easier. But the problem is I'm out of blades. I used up my only 2 blades I had on cutting the rest of this off. So I had to use a Sawzall on the hood. Like I said, I trimmed it up a little bit with the Sawzall. They can trim it up a little bit better where it's going. Just mark it across there and take a whiz wheel and knock that off real easy. But that is a beautiful nose. I mean, that is what I consider to be an absolute top of the line premium quality nose right there. Perfect colors, perfect Christmas colors. I mean, that would make an awesome Christmas backdrop piece. And I'm back out here at my place now. I've got almost 5 loads on the ground there at the yard. We shipped out a couple loads last week and 1 load this week, or my dad shipped out 1 load this week. I was working out here. But anyway, I don't know what prices are going to do. If they hold out steady until I get back, I'll probably ship some loads out of the yard that I work at. But I'm out here now. I took my pen and I marked off this truck over here where I need to cut it at, kind of. Last time I just kind of rough-eyed it and it didn't work out that well. So this time I actually marked it. So I'm going to start cutting. Fresh arrival. Looks like it might have snagged on his trailer just a tiny bit. There it goes. I was just killing time on Marketplace last night like I do a lot of times when I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and I saw this on there for $400. And I thought, man, for $400 I gotta have that, but I don't have time to get it. So I sent it to Skyler and he messaged him. I sent him a $100 down payment on Venmo and he went and picked it up this afternoon. It is a very nice cab. There's no rust in the cab itself. There's like 2 or 3 little tiny pinholes in the visor. That's it. There's a tiny bit of rust in the doors. But other than that, it is a very nice cab. Even the windshield's good in it. 6456. I'm not sure what year it is. But look inside this thing. Here's the grill out of it. That actually wasn't in the truck. Skylar talked him out of that, so that's a bonus there. But the floors are all good. Roof's good. Good looking truck. I forgot my tool to change these. Now you can change these by hand, actually. Hold it in with one hand and turn it with the other. But if you're going to do that, make sure you take the battery out, because I've seen people not take the battery out, accidentally bump these. Now these are pretty secure, but if that safety ever wears out and then it goes like that and engages, it's going to be bad news if you're holding onto that blade. Well, I started getting this one cut. I got it cut across the top, then my blade was dull, or gone, I guess I should say, with one of those. And so I swapped it out, and then my battery went dead just as I was getting close to the end. So I have about a 1/4 inch left to cut down there, and this one is done. It looks like I went a little bit crooked down here on this side. I should have went more that way. Go down the other side, cut the hood. This one here is going to come off easy, because this core support here is not attached to the front end. So I'm not entirely sure what's down here. There's probably 1 bolt we'll have to cut with a torch on each side. Not a big deal. We'll do that another day. The 58 is completely cut. All that's left on that is to pull the radiator out and then pull the 2 mounts at the bottom out. But those there, I'm going to wait till I have the impact, because the first one, I cut those mounts with the whiz wheel and it kind of launched and sprung up and snagged a hold of the blade and it exploded, and it was just a bad deal. Now, I knew it might do that, so I didn't put my face anywhere close to it, but I just assumed not do that again. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and grab all these license plates. These just sold on eBay. Another group of 30 of them headed out. I believe these are headed overseas as well. Most of the license plates I've been selling lately have been going out of the country, so that's cool. I'm glad to see other people appreciating them. Something I've been kicking around in my head. I don't know if I want to do it for sure or not, but I've really been considering it, and I'll just see what your guys' opinion is on it. But you know how most YouTubers have merch, that sort of stuff, which I do have merch, but I don't have a ton of merch. I just got, just the basics set up through a merch shop. I was thinking something more interesting than just a t-shirt or a hat or something like that is taking license plates like this and maybe signing them on the back, signing them and writing Adventures Made from Scratch or something like that, or maybe even on the front, something like that. I don't know exactly what to do. If that'd be something you guys would be interested in, let me know in the comments, because I could definitely do that. Sign them and then I could sell them individually, and I'd put them listed, like each one individually online for sale, and that way you could pick out exactly which license plate you wanted. So if you're interested, let me know. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and head out for today. I'm going to head back to the yard tomorrow. I may come out here in the morning if I can wake up early enough. Depends on how late I have to stay up editing tonight. But if I can wake up around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll come out here for a couple hours before I go to work. And then I plan on coming out here during lunch again tomorrow, and again, well, probably not tomorrow evening. I have some other stuff going on. But anyway, I'll just see you guys in the morning. Boy, I tell you what, today has been one of them days. It has been non-stop people coming out here. People bringing me converters, people bringing me cars, loads of junk, people wanting parts, just non-stop. I've been trying to get stuff done and I have not been getting much done. I think I've only crushed about 2 bundles, maybe 3. On top of everything else that I already have to get done, I just got a phone call, and if you guys remember that backyard that I went through with all those weird homemade fans and we are back again. Seriously guys, if you have not seen this video, you need to go back and check out this one here. I think it was the one titled You Won't Believe What's in This Overgrown Backyard or something like that. What they're going to do is they're going to come in here with skid steers, I believe, or maybe a Mini X, but I believe a skid steer, and they're just going to go through here and rip everything out, pack it in dumpsters. So what my dad and I are going to try to do this afternoon is go through here and get some of the interesting stuff out. What I want to do personally is save as many of these homemade fans as I can. He loved making fans out of just random objects. I mean, you got mini pop cans, full-size pop cans. Got a bicycle wheel with cans on it. Another bicycle wheel with cans on it. Coffee cans. I mean, you name it. He was constantly making fans out of stuff. Just random things like that. Tons of interesting stuff all through here. Although a lot of this is still hooked up to electricity, so we're probably not going to mess with any of that sort of stuff. There's a few other things in here as well. Like this old chair is kind of interesting. We hang on to that. Here's an old truck, stuff like that. We're going to try to get that out of here, because when they come in here with that skid steer, they're just going to start at one end and go to the other, and it's all going to go. There's tunnels all through here. When I was here last, it was all green. It's all starting to dry out now because it's fall. But I came in here in the summer. It was pretty awesome. Bunches of fans in here. I won't be able to get them all, but as many as possible that I can save out of here, I want to save and try to find a new home for. Just so fascinating to me, this place is. I'm glad I made the video. I had the opportunity to make the video of this place before it all gets destroyed. And this is what it looks like from above. I was curious what it looked like up here, but he actually put shingles and metal and fiberglass and everything over the top of a lot of this. Gotta be careful where you walk. It's a little bit spongy in places. There we go. That one was easy. You know, it's actually a really good thing we came over here when we did, because the guy that owns this house is remodeling it on the inside so he can rent it out. And we get over here and it smells like gas really, really strong. So we got to check in, and the guy told us how to get the code for the key to get in the house. And we did that. And we went in there, and the furnace is running full blast, but it's not igniting because it's off. So it's just running and pumping gas. And the meter out here was spinning in circles 90 miles an hour. So the guy that owns the house sent the gas company out. They're fixing that now. But if we hadn't come over here, that would have been bad news for him. We're starting to get quite the collection out here, and we barely even started. There's so much stuff in there. Here's a really cool rock my dad wanted. Yeah, we're making quite the collection. Got a long ways to go though. Got a few here. Found this old toy truck in there, and then here's that engine. It's hooked up to buttons, so I'm guessing you could push the buttons and it would make the engine spin. It's got a fan on the front of it, but it's all stuck now. But it's still a neat piece that somebody put a lot of time into making, so I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Well, I think that's all I'm gonna get. There's still a bunch of them in here like that and there, and there's a bunch of them up through there still, but I am running out of time. I simply don't have time to save them all, so I just kind of went through and got the coolest ones out. Now I have to load them all up. I got this gigantic pile of them right here. There's an iron wheel. And I got a bunch more of them right here in this great big pile. And we got some on this shelf here, wrapped all around the side. Got all these. Got this contraption here. He actually had water going to that, to where water would run into these cans. Got some more there, all along here. That one there. Got this great big one there. Got a few there. Then I got the big pile out here. There are a ton of them. I don't think they're all going to fit. I want to get as many in there as I can. My dad's got his truck here, so we may throw some of the big ones on his truck real quick, but I've got to stack all the little ones in mine. This poor truck never probably thought it would see the day. It would be hauling stuff like this. Just got home with the second load. There's 91 of them in this load, so that means there's 157 of them total. There were 66 in the first load. Oh, well, that's a lot of fan blades. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there when they tear it down. They're going to tear it down while I'm in Colorado, so I won't get to film that. Kind of a bummer. I really wanted to do that, but it is what it is. Here's all the tin off the roof. Well, not all of it. There's still actually a little bit of tin left on top of this building here, but we're not too worried about it. This is all the tin from about where that tree is forward. That's all done up there now. They're just waiting on us to get this back half torn down. When I get back from Colorado is probably about the time that they're going to start on this. So that might make an interesting video watching that get torn down. Alright guys, lunch hour's over. I ran out there real quick to my place, set a few trucks out, dug a few trucks out. Sean's supposed to be here first thing in the morning to start cutting noses, and that way if I have to work at the yard, Sean can work here at my yard, cutting those noses before I get there. I'm headed back to the yard now, so I'll see you guys there. The guy's supposed to be here in the morning to pick this up. That's going to be good to get that out of the way. And I think I just have a few more cars to where I'll be able to get all the way down the road again. She's a rusty clunker. Not much good here, but it is a GMC Jimmy. It's not a Blazer, so it's a fairly rare thing. It's got a tilt column in it. It's got a few good parts in it. It's got the bucket seats. It's got the roll cage. The fiberglass top is workable. It's not broken anywhere. So it's got some good parts on it. I think that's what he's going to do with it. He's just going to part it out. Oh, it's electric windows too. This back panel back here and probably this whole tailgate is probably worth some pretty good money. If you're into selling parts, I'm just not really into selling parts. You guys know me. I don't enjoy it, and life's too short to do things that you don't enjoy. The grill's busted. I do sell some parts, but it's just few and far between, and big stuff like that, I hate shipping, so I'm just assume sell the whole vehicle to somebody else, and they can part it out if that's what they enjoy doing. And I think that's about all for today, so I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. Sean's supposed to be here again. We're going to work on those trucks. And good morning. We're back out here again today. Up before the sun. I was up really late last night too, so I am tired today, but I have so much to do. I am up against the wall time-wise. I don't know how we're going to get all this done in time, but we're going to do our best. Let's get busy. Kind of an unexpected challenge. I have to wear glasses when I'm cutting on these, and I don't have clear glasses. All I have is my sunglasses, and it's dark. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. I got two more cut. Well, mostly cut. This one here I got cut all the way across. But these here, in order to lighten them up, you have to use a torch inside and cut some of this bracing out. Otherwise, it's just a super heavy nightmare. And that way you can also leave the radiator intact. It kind of keeps the engine more sealed up because we don't have time to pull these engines right now. So that way we can just close the hood, the radiator will still be on it. That engine will be good for a while yet. And then also this part here isn't attached to the rest of the nose, and so you have to cut that out with a torch as well. This one here I got cut. I can't cut it the rest of the way because of these. I have to unbolt these from the bottom, then we can cut it the rest of the way over to the hood. I got the hood cut all the way across. I was worried about this hood ornament, but actually it cut through that pretty easy. I just cut up to it with the cutoff wheel, and then I took the Sawzall and cut through it like butter. So that's all done. I got the fenders cut all the way down on both sides. And once again on these, you take the torch and you just kind of do a little bit of cutting up in here, and it leaves all this core support and radiator and all that right where it's at. So at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and go get the loader. Shawn should be here in probably 10-15 minutes with the torch, and so he can start cutting on these. So I'm going to go ahead and dig out that International so he can cut those 2 bolts. And then I've got some more trucks out back. They're in tall grass. I don't want to do any cutting on them back there in that tall, dry grass. So I'm going to bring those up here a little bit closer. Yeah. Just got back from a quick lunch. We got 2 noses here. We got the Chevy, the International there behind it. We got this Ford off. We got the GMC off over here. And then over here we have another Chevy and a Ford. Then we've got the blue and greenish, tealish, whatever color that is. That nose is laying there on the ground. We got to pull the radiator out of that still. And then I got the one up front that's just like that I got to pull the radiator out of as well. I want to get this Ford out of the way. I think we have 1 more Ford and 3 Chevys, if I remember right. Yeah, 3 Chevys. Got to bring those up here. I'm going to bring them up here one at a time. We'll get those cut out. And there's a couple more things we got to do today. And then I'm going to think we're going to call it quits for today. And I'll come back in the morning and cut the rest of those jack-o'-lanterns. There we go. Got all 12 of these cut. Pretty well ready to go. We'll work on them a little bit more tomorrow morning. Kind of put them together a little bit. Kind of beat out some of these dents like this hood here. And I think one of these was a little bit kinked in the fender. I don't remember which one, but one of these. So we'll kind of straighten them up a little bit, put them together a little bit, and then we'll lay them all out and take some nice pictures of them. A while back we cut one of these in half. It sold really good. So Shawn cut another one in half just now. Pretty cool pieces. Sold a few parts out of the house as well. Sold all the door hinges and the glass doorknobs and the staircase railing. Here in probably about 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start the dismantling process of the rest of the house. Like I said before several times, we are up against a wall. We are pressed for time, but I think we're going to make it. This has been pretty intense. I have never had so much stuff I had to get done by such a short deadline before, ever. And so this is pretty crazy. But all we have left to do today is to bolt those front ends together a little bit better, kind of weld them together in a few spots just to make them hold together a little bit better. So I've got a handful of stuff to do, and they must be having a cattle auction today because there are some cows out there somewhere that direction. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but I don't know if you guys can hear that on camera or not. I guess I'll find out when I'm editing it. But they are loud, and there are a bunch of them, so there must be an auction going on. I don't know what was in this can here. I mean, it was bone dry inside, I thought anyway. But there must have been something in it because it was smoking like a bomb. So after I got it cut, I threw it off to the side. I try not to cut too many of these galvanized cans just because you're not supposed to be cutting galvanized. And so I just try to hold my breath while I cut an eye. Then I'll step back, take a breath, come back up, cut another eye, you know. And I think I only cut 3 galvanized cans total, so not a real big deal. Some of these didn't turn out real good, like this one here is kind of jagged on the edges, but I guess that gives it charm and character. I think I mentioned this before, but if I make them perfect and I do a real nice job with the plasma cutter, they don't bring any more money than rough cut ones like this. So why spend 3 times as much time to make the same money when I can just cut them like this and ship them out the door? I got to drive up front. I've got some of those jerry cans, like the old military jerry cans. I've got some of those I want to cut up. I think 5 or 6 of those. And then I got some more cans up there. So I'll go gather those up, bring them back here, and start cutting on those. For those of you that watch my videos on a regular basis, you may remember this stuff here. I bought all this at an auction. I gave $1,300 for it. I said, let's see how much money we can make off of this. So I'll kind of give you an update. The cans that I had, I'm going to get about $100 out of those. I got $700 out of all the Volkswagen doors, so that's $800 so far. This nose, which one is, oh, the Ford nose over here. We had the nose off of a truck, and it didn't have a hood. So I bought this hood just to put on that nose. That nose was worth about $200 without a hood. But with this hood, it'll now be worth about $500. So this hood added $300 worth of value. So that puts us at $1,100. This piece here, she wants to look at it, but I believe I have it sold for $100. So that'll put us at $1,200. So that means I have $100 left invested in the old Mercury hood, the old Chevy truck hood, and is this a Henry J? Yeah, Henry J or Willys, whatever this was. This front clip, this Volkswagen hood here. And then I've got these 2 tanks over here. This is a riveted tank. I'll probably be sending that to Texas. That'll probably bring about $30 or so. And then I've got 2 more tanks down here that I can cut into junk lanterns if I want to. So when it's all said and done, I'll make about $500 profit by the time I sell the rest of the stuff that's left over. I know that's not a lot of money, but I have very little time invested. I'll have more time invested in cutting these cans up than I will selling all the rest of the stuff. All I did was go load it, make a video about it, stack it over there, send some pictures to some people, and that's all I've done so far. And there we go. I got the last of them cut. I went ahead and cut an extra one. That way, just in case there's one of them she isn't too happy with, she has an extra one to make up for it. Got all these here. These turn out pretty good. Like this one here, the bottom of it is completely rusted off. Still looks pretty cool, but just in case she doesn't like it, I went ahead and threw in 1 extra can. Back again, cutting up the last nose. They're doing some body work on these down there. We're drilling holes, we're bolting the hoods on, we're brazing stuff together, kind of making it all look nice and hold together good to where it doesn't fall apart. So while they're working on that, I need to find 3 headlights because I have 1 missing headlight and 2 broken headlights. So I'm going to go dig through the cars. I know there was 2 or 3 of these Studebakers we brought home that we threw all the headlights in. Every car we crushed that had a headlight in it still, we saved the headlights. So I know there's some in here. Bingo. I see 1, 2, maybe 3 right here. Perfect. And there's even a few more in there if we happen to need them. They don't have to have all the prongs. They don't have to be good. None of that matters. I just don't want them to be broken. That way we can stick them in there, bolt the headlight ring back on them, and hold them in place. There we go. It looks much better than that broken headlight did. I'll show you the backside of what one of these looks like when it's all done. We had to cut the spring in here to get it to latch properly. And then we drilled some holes, put some bolts through it. One there, one over there. A little bit of brazing up in here to hold the latch in place to make sure nobody tried to rip it open or anything like that. And it's good to go. This one's a little bit crunchy, so we're gonna fix that with a sledgehammer. There it is now. Much better. Not perfect, but I did give her a discount on this nose anyway. Oh yeah. Looks like new. Oh yeah, perfect. This truck almost bit the dust. Back beginning of the year when cars were 300 a ton, I just about cut the nose off, cut the doors off, cut the back of the cab off, and crushed the rest of it. If I would have done that, it would have brought me about around $2,000 or so. And I almost did it, but I thought, no, I'm going to try to sell it. And I've been trying and trying to sell it, and finally a guy messaged me and bought it. So every now and then it does work out. There we go. That was quick and easy.
Yeah, I mean, that changes everything.
So all morning we've been struggling. We only had one battery and it kept going dead, and then it would overheat. And so we've been struggling with that, and then the drill bits kept going dead, if I can even talk. And then the drill bits kept going dead. So I ran into town real quick, picked up one of these, a set of these, and a cobalt drill bit. Now it's going much faster. And here's the final product. We added an old Texas tag to the front of this one just to give it a little bit of extra flair since we had to leave the bumper on it. And it's going to Texas too on top of that. Here's a 53 Ford, Chevrolet, 58 Chevrolet, another old advanced design, 51 Ford, I think. Yeah, that's a 51 Ford. This is a 51 and a 52 Ford. The hood and the nose aren't exactly right. And then this is a 52 Ford. Then over here we've got another advanced design, another advanced design. We've got a 55, another 55. This old International, I'm not sure what year that is for sure. And then a 50, I think this is a 56 here. Well, we were definitely in a major time crunch. And I have about 5 minutes left to spare before I had to leave. So I think we barely got it knocked out in time. We ran it to the wire, but we got the mission accomplished. They'll be here the Monday after next to pick all these up. There's some other stuff that she's buying as well. So I guess what I'm probably gonna do, since that kind of goes with this video, is I'm not going to close this video out right now. I'll just wait a week and a half and we'll close it out then. Whenever she gets here, I'll go through and I'll show you what all else she's buying. And because I don't even know exactly what she's going to buy. She may buy more than what I think she's going to buy, but she's got quite a bit of stuff picked out. So hopefully we'll get her a full load and she can take it back to Texas, and it'll be a good show for them. That being said, I guess I'll see you guys in a week and a half, and you'll see me here in just a few seconds. I got you on film struggling to tear foam.
Oh, come on. That's going on the YouTubes, man. Millions of views. He's short some right here. All right.
There you go. There we go.
Yeah, John boy. Those are good looking gates. Trees free.
Yeah, that was a lot of work getting those out of there. This little door, a bunch of VW doors, some more gates. Filling it up. Now we got to get some sideboards in here and a couple more doors, and I forget what else, but we'll figure it all out. Gonna have to slide these all the way to the front. Got all the junk lanterns loaded up, and all we have left is these two chairs, and there was one other chair, but we already stuck it in there.
Sure you don't want to just stick 2 in there? 2 is always better than 1.
Clear full.
I'm just saying. A pair of them.
It's looking kind of barren out here. I got rid of so much stuff. That 57 Chevy that was burnt that sat over there for so long is gone. So that spot's wide open. Got rid of a bunch of stuff out of here. That windmill's gone. All the noses that were back here are all gone. I got a little bit of scrap back here I need to get picked up. And then this area looks pretty weird too. All those Volkswagen doors gone. And I had that one Ford truck hood that we cut up. It's gone. So looks pretty weird in here. This old front clip here, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. This here I'm gonna go ahead and try to sell. I guess I'll try to sell it cheap. I thought somebody would buy that for sure, but haven't had much interest in that, so not sure what to do with that. I did buy this old lawn tractor hood this morning. That's kind of neat. I figure I'll cut that off for a wall hanger. And then I got these 2 old cast iron sinks. They were cheap, so I went ahead and bought them. Then I got all this cast iron stuff right here. These are mostly Wagner. I think there's 1 Griswold in here. Actually, there's 2 Griswolds, but one of them is cracked really bad. But there's 1 good Griswold, and the rest of these are Wagner. I'm not sure what they're worth, but I went ahead and bought those as well. Got this really cool light. This yellow fog light. There's only 1 of them, unfortunately. Got that. I got some old door hardware. This old thing here is kind of neat. It's brass or copper, one of the 2, but it's an old Chevy dealership award plaque of some sort. Got this really cool hinge, but there's just 1 of them and it's stuck, but it's still really neat. And then got these here. These are kind of unusual, interesting, something off of an old tractor. I thought they would make good art of some kind, old industrial art. Of course, I get some more cool stuff as soon as they leave. And then I had a lot of this stuff, but I got a belt housing and something else. I forget what it was. Oh, that's right. I got some more of these cans to cut up. But anyway, I think that's about it for this one. I don't know what all I even recorded. Like I said, the last time I recorded anything was a week and a half ago. So it's been a little while since then. I had a great time in Colorado though, had a lot of fun, but I'm ready to get back at it. I'm not sure what's gonna be happening the rest of this week. If anything interesting happens, I'll be sure to get the camera out. Keep checking back. I try to post somewhat of a variety of stuff that goes on out here at the junkyard. I know of at least one thing coming up later in the week that's pretty interesting. I'll be sure to do that. Other than that, I guess we'll see you next time. If you guys enjoyed this one, please give me a thumbs up. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.